Okay, so it should not kill me to do this. And yeah, I'm trying to basically hide the fact that I already played the first game because as I did that stuff for the very first episode, I ended up doing this after the first game, which I've already played, so I'm trying not to let you guys see that. If it pops up, there's gonna be a cut here and a cut there. I mean, it's kind of easy to hide now, but kind of going over the roster right now. Just I gotta make sure I don't show stats and stuff. But I've gone through and to start off, really, like I said last time, every senior that was on this team, ignore George Lincoln, and I believe it's one other player who is actually our punter, and it's Ian Wells. So ignore these two. These are actually punters. They were kickers, but I'd rather have Matt York as our kicker. So I flipped those around. But everybody else was changed. If you changed to a senior and then you were changed to a punter to kind of like, okay, none of our seniors are going to play. And it's probably going to be a very bad season, but we're playing it as if this team has no seniors. It's just a bunch of freshmen and sophomores as, they finally come up to the next level. But if everything goes right, we really do have a battle here for who could be our starter long term if we don't bring somebody in here, as we don't really have somebody that can do everything we need at quarterback. I mean, Kevin Murphy probably has the best accuracies. I can't even say that when I'm looking at Austin Lee, who actually is more than complete, like just as, if not just, like he's probably going to be better for the team long term. But the first game, it's Kevin Murphy. Before I play the second game, might get some practice in with Austin Lee here, see what he can do, because the skill set's virtually the same, except like we're consistent across the board. We know what he can do. He can't really throw on the run, whereas Kevin Murphy supposedly can. And what Andrew Frost down here brings is mainly the biggest arm on the team. Other than that, yeah, he's 6'5", 212, so he's technically our biggest quarterback, but it's not really too much to offer here. And the more I look, the more I'm like, Austin Lee might end up being that guy. I think we're still going to end up bringing somebody else in, kind of seeing what goes on here. I mean, I do have a couple of guys on the recruiting board, which I will definitely go and show y'all that. I want to try and keep this under like a few minutes, like not too terribly long, but just something to go with, to kind of go through the roster really quick. Like I said, I changed names. So Nathan James right now, fastest back overall, our best back. I think he's going to get majority of the carries this year. Inside zone, outside zone, out the backfield, everything that we can get here. But Tyler Moore has better carrying and can break more tackles. Like whatever Nathan would struggle with, Tyler here can do it. And then we have Justin Davis, who kind of has a little bit of everything except for that speed, but he's here. He can do stuff, but we just have to find the right spot for everybody. So that'll be the fun of our running back group. We have our fullback, who is not showing up, so we're just going to keep it moving up. He just showed up. He's a junior. He's going to see the field quite a bit. We do run a lot of power, kind of I formations, offsets. We're going to continue that. Now, receiver-wise, at 5'11", Ian Green is our top receiver, followed by Anthony Adams, Alexander Phillips, and I didn't change numbers, so I'm pretty sure like who the guys previously were, but I did change some faces to try and change things up just a little bit, just a couple faces, nothing super major, but every name got changed. And we got Noah Morris, Ian Rodriguez, Brian Martinez, and Eric Cooper. Before anybody says it, I really just chat GPT'd 85 names, first and last, and threw them in a random combo, and this is what we have. Tight ends, we got Joseph Campbell, Paul Mitchell, Thomas Stewart. We only have 3 tight ends on roster. Now the offensive line, Tariq Miller, Andrew Gonzalez are at the tackle position on the left side. Left guard is Eric Morgan and Isaiah Collins. We got Keon Smith and Gary Lewis going to hold it down the middle, kind of interchangeable. Right guard, and probably going to be a starter for a while, Jason Davis, followed by Anthony Jackson. And we have Aiden Smith and Damian Perez on the right side. On the defensive side, we have John Lincoln III, Nick Forbes, and James Dreamer. Do not ask me about that. I really and truly was just starting to type up randomness because this was towards the end of it. I think the D line was the last people I named. Colby Peterson, Allison McCringle, and Michael Bertrude. That rounds out our edge defenders. Now for the interior of the defensive line, if it ever loads, we have DJ Warren, Jake Bloom. You know, I'm going to be honest, I actually don't know if this is the name I changed. Hmm. We're going to roll with it. Jake Bloom, Devin Simpson, and Malachi Stevens. As we head to the linebackers, we got KJ Hart, and as you can see, we really don't have that much speed here. Ben McLaney on the left side. We have Spike Jeffries, who is the captain of the defense. He's in the middle. He's a sophomore. He's our leader. Fastest linebacker. He should be able to do everything, and if you don't see him in a tackle, we're probably screwed, and we've given up a big touchdown. Behind him, we have Marty Johnson. Not as fast, but he can still get the job done pretty well. And then behind him, because that's two sophomores to start, we have freshman Trevor Broughton Jr. And if anybody knows about a little Commander franchise I had, it really didn't last that long. There's Trevor Broughton. So I kind of want to just get a name out there that I recognize. 88 speed, so he is going to be our fastest linebacker. He kind of can do everything, but being a 64 overall, might not see the field this year. Might even be a redshirt freshman going into next year, so can still have all the eligibility. Oops, did not mean to be on North Texas there. Then we have Jacob Underwood. I think that's Click Productions' name of the main guy. The last name was already there. I just threw Jacob there. Jack Tellers and Kevin with 2 V's and 2 N's Gates. Don't ask it. It's there. It's there. Franklin Erickson, sophomore, being our best cornerback. Demarion Holter, Malik Manson, Charles Frankson, and Robert Glenn are going to round out the cornerbacks. Hunter Jackson, Kyle Reese. If you know, you know. Matthew Roderick will be the free safeties. Brian Bloom and Chris Pride-Smith will be the strong safeties. Then at kicker, we have Matthew York, and at punter, Ian Wells, and then George Lincoln, the third here. Yeah, these are the only names I didn't change. Was the kicker, punter. Those are like the only ones I left alone. So you know what? We're just gonna because I can't do anything about it for the first game, and it's not like I'm gonna show you guys too much of that anyways, because things happen, things go well. I don't want to make the change like that bad. So, and I think I'm going to change. I'll change his name. And these will be the only names that, we're going to change. We're actually going to leave everything else alone. So the Lincoln the third, you'll be Rivers the third. Okay, but other than that, that's the team. Now, let's go make a jump cut over to the depth chart so you guys can't see nothing. I realized the problem. I realized it. I didn't see it up top. I realized it. So I'm just going to like block off the record right there. That's all I'm going to do is I'm going to block that off so it really doesn't show too much. So Because like for whatever reason, I was not looking at that as we're gonna make Austin Lee our starter for next game. But yeah, I'm just gonna throw a little block right there, block that record because that does show something. And don't worry, it's fine. But I've seen some things and I just want to make some changes and see what I can get here based off of what I've done in the game before. I've seen some players. It's nothing too drastic. It's just I've seen some good, I've seen some bad, and we can make do with that. In fact, I'm gonna like after this, I'm actually gonna go ahead and play the second game, and I'm gonna see if I can get a two game out there for y'all. Go ahead and get both the first and second game out there together, kind of make it little highlights, and let's get through the season and let's have some fun. Um, but based off of what you've seen, and that means you won't see a storyline develop just yet. Oh nope, cancel. You're not gonna see a storyline develop just yet. So it will be what is it? What was I saying? What was I saying? A storyline will be after I guess this would make it the third episode. So after the first two games, we can start doing storyline. But if you watch this far and you want to just pick a number 1 through, I don't know, 50, or I might have ChatGPT do it or whatever, and we're gonna do a storyline and we'll figure out what it's gonna be, whether that person's gonna play, whether something tragic, nothing like terrible, but like, oh, they failed out of this class, or oh, they they got in a car accident, but they're okay. They're just gonna sit out this game. Something that I hope like isn't too terrible. But we'll give both good notes, bad notes. We'll do the same thing for recruits, all that. So every episode after the first two games, we will throw a storyline in there that'll probably take up the first like couple minutes or the last couple of minutes of an episode. And I just hope that things go well and that we will be in the right space. I'm sorry, that text came through and that has something to do with it was pretty important. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get to the next thing. And yeah, I can't wait to see you on the next one. And yeah, let the wolf howl.